What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And welcome to a new week. We're taking a look at the Ripple XRP price chart. We have our weekly candle close that just happened last night, and obviously we've had a massive breakout. You pretty much have to be living underneath a rock to not recognize that XRP's price has surged to the upside. And of course, after a moment like this, a lot of people look at their portfolios. They say, wow, my portfolio is like 5 or 6 times bigger than what it was just 2.5 months ago. What do I do from here? What's the next thing to expect? Because, if I see this thing get cut in half, I'm not going to be feeling very good. But let's take a deep breath. Let's talk about what's going on the charts. I'm going to talk about some of my expectations that I have moving forward with XRP. Talk about the complications of trying to figure out where the next price levels are at for some resistance to show up. And of course, like I keep talking about, the likelihood of some type of back test. This past week, XRP broke out of a 3-year resistance level. It is very common for these types of resistance levels to come back and get some type of a back test. So we have to always keep that in the back of our mind that, you know what, in like 99% of cases, those things come back and back tests. So I think the best thing for me personally at this time period is that as being an XRP investor for such a long time and going through all these depths of despair moments, I can celebrate that, you know what, even this type of backtest won't affect me because, well, I had to live down here for a very, very long time, and we are now so far away from my dollar cost average. And for a lot of people who watch this channel have been around for a long time, you're in the same boat. We're very far away from the dollar cost average. I think a big question a lot of people have is, when can I get my entry? At what price can I get my entry? I'm FOMOing. I'm excited. Is it even going to offer up that opportunity to get that entry, right? And then, of course, there's the other people who want, no. Let's not go back. Let's just keep mooning. Let's just keep moving, right? So we'll take a look at all this stuff today. We'll talk about potential resistance levels, potential backtest levels. In the end, the thing to understand about me is that my conviction has always been that, you know what, we're going to head up into these price levels way up in here. And that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to play games with all this type of stuff. I have diamond hands. I have laser eyes. I have fists of steel, whatever you want to call it. I'm a hodler. I've hodled through a lot of really terrible times, and even some type of backtest coming back down here will not affect me and my mission on getting way up here into all-time highs. So let's talk about what happened last week, because clearly we started the week down here at 63 cents. We ended the week at $1.35. Boom. More than doubled the price last week. We're getting news articles written about us. You don't own me. XRP price surge defies SEC's clampdown on crypto. Major crypto influencers hopping on board who have otherwise been very critical of XRP and Ripple now coming in, being very, very positive about XRP. What we are seeing right now with XRP is a protest of the SEC and the status quo. The case between Ripple Labs and the SEC is going to have huge effects on the entire crypto space. This could go down as the largest case in history of the SEC. Why I'm buying XRP, a Ripple love story by BitBoy Crypto. So we've gotten the attention of the masses, right? This week, of course, is the Coinbase IPO. Are we going to see anything going into that? I don't know. But hey, we're starting the week right now at $1.39. Super exciting. So where are we going to be looking for resistances at? How high is this thing going to go before it pulls back? Is it even going to pull back? I'm now going to draw out the scenarios for you right now. The first thing to do is I'm going to zoom in on a shorter time frame. So we're kind of looking at, this is the beginning of 2020. This is going through all the craziness. This is when the SEC filed their lawsuit against Ripple. So heading back over here and kind of looking at this time frame. For those who've been with the channel, we've been talking about how we've had a crash, retrace back to 702, reaccumulation, and then breakout, right? So you guys can kind of see exactly how that works and why I'm always so focused on 702. You could see what happened here. 702 was that resistance level right here. And you could see that once it got through there and with a clear break, it just kept on going and going and going. So it's always fun for me to find moments in time where that was represented as such a huge moment, and you could see it happening right there. But even if we just look at kind of like just a standard 4.236 fib extension taking us all the way out, that gets us out to about $2.09 before the full extension has been reached. So that's kind of an interesting price level, especially for those who've been around a long time. We've always talked about that $2 to $2.30 area being so important, being a big retracement level, and that would be a likely place before a really big resistance resistance level would come in. If we zoom back out on the chart and kind of measure from the big perspective, looking at the whole bear market that has happened, let's just kind of draw some fibs on here and see, does that represent anything for the entire bear market that takes us precisely out to a 618 Fibonacci retracement? So that does make sense right there, that $2.09 as being a major resistance level. In addition, if we kind of shift this Fibonacci back down here to this rally prior to Bitcoin capitulating, the one that I keep referring to and the one that's going to be important for me, that also gets us right out there to that 702 area. So really we keep seeing different retracement levels happening right in here. So seems pretty probable to me that there's going to be some resistance that comes in there. Again, I'm a hodler. I'm hodling all the way up until we get up into here before I ever start doing anything with my XRP. I've been through the depths of despair in a bear market, and you guys have been through it too. At least a lot of you have. I came here with a mission. I came here with faith, determination, and conviction that we're getting all the way up to here. You're not going to catch me day trading my bags and slipping up somewhere right in here, making some type of mistake where, hey, you know what? I expect it to go down one more penny. I'm going to wait just another second, and then boom, I miss my opportunity. It's not going to happen. But if we're looking for where significant retracement resistance levels reside, which is a number that we've been saying for a long time still, that $2 to $2.30 region seems to be the most likely for massive resistance to come in. I'll take a bunch of this off the screen for us really quick. And in the end, I just keep looking back down to here and saying, I mean, anybody who's stared at charts, understanding back tests, it just seems so likely that that's going to get back tested at some point. Again, I'm fully long, right? So it's not going to hurt me if it keeps going to the upside. As a matter of fact, it's just going to help kind of ease the pain, right? We don't have to feel that massive pullback, feel that massive scary moment, because at that time, the narrative will change. Right now, the narrative is really exciting, right? We always talked about that, and I'll dive into that here in a second, that the narrative is really exciting right now. We were looking for narrative to change. We were looking for excitement to show up for XRP. We've got it. When prices pull down, why do people not buy the dip? It's because the narrative is different at that time. So narratives do change. Excitement does change. So if that phase doesn't happen where we don't have that pullback to backtest that level, by all means, I'm fine with it, because a lot of us are really tired of going through that type of stuff. But we have to expect it's possible. And in most circumstances, you do get the back test. Another really interesting thing here too is if we just go back and grab that fractal from back in the past and overlay it, the big question is, where do you lay this thing at, right? We can all pick out our targets. Like I keep showing you guys that the biggest thing for me, and everybody's going to question it when the time comes, when the excitement comes, is it really going to be only that high? I mean, right, we're going to 50, we're going to 100. Look, I'm sticking to it. I'm going to be sticking to that $10 to $13 price region. But the big question always comes, right? So where does this thing reside, right? Does it reside right here? Right there does take us out into that price level. I guess it's right there to 13. Does it reside here? Does it reside here? Where does it go? Or do we start it right here at the very bottom, just like we have back over here? And well, what do you see right there? You see that, well, we're almost fully extended for that fractal right in there. That, of course, doesn't take us out as far as hoping, only getting us out to $9 right there. But let's say that that's the case right there. Well, we're almost done. And look, the back test brings us back down into that level to close these gaps and back test and confirm that this is a new support level. Alternatively, you shift it up a little bit and you put it in this region. Same thing, right? Still gets us up into that $2 area right in there and then pulls back for a back test. One other thing to take notice of, let me get this off the screen right in here, is to see that, well, look where we're having a resistance at, right? And let me get this other line off of here. We keep using the rally prior to Bitcoin capitulating back here because it has shown significance in regards to other digital assets and in regards to XRP in the previous bull runs, that is an important level to use in measuring for the forecast of the next bull run. At least for my personal targets, it is. But something we can notice over here is, well, look where we're showing up at. We're showing up at the 50% retracement level on that measurement tool. Let's head back over here and take a peek over at what's going on with this guy over here. When we reached out to do this bull run right in here, you could measure how far it was going to go by using the same thing, that rally that took it right off down here, and then that showed you that you could get all the way up to the very top. Put that back on. We'll zoom in just a second here, and we could see that we found resistance right in here at the 50%, right? This thing looks like one big straight green line up, but I'll swap us to a lower time frame and zoom in on it and show, we had some fighting that we had to do right here at this 50% measurement. So what do we see happening in here? We see there was absolutely no back test of that breakout. This was a long hold down too. We're talking from, let's take a look. This is from June 2017 all the way to December 2017. So that's a 6-month hold down right there with absolutely no back test. So we can do these measurements right in here. We can try to guess where the resistance levels are going to be. But in the end, I'm not taking a day trading strategy going into this right here. I'm holding on for dear life. I have the expectations that it's very normal to see a back test happen on a broken resistance, especially one that's held us down for 3 years. But I also do know that in XRP's cases, a lot of times this thing just freaking moons. So as we sit here at $1.38, we know there's several resistance levels, right? We're at one right now. There's several more up here in this $2 to $2.30 region. It is just a guessing game at this point of where it's going to stop. And then again, if what's going to happen if suddenly this, last week Brad Garlinghouse said today was a good day, right? What happens if we get something actually really good this week, right? Also, in addition to that, we have the Coinbase IPO happening this week. We're going to see a lot of marketing of cryptocurrency on financial media to the rest of the world, talking a lot about the different altcoins. I'm certain of it. Coinbase does not just make its money from Bitcoin, it makes its money from the altcoins as well. And we'll hear a lot about that. I wouldn't be surprised if on TV at some point we hear, hey, Coinbase. So you guys are talking about your first quarter profits and revenue and trading volumes. And well, we also know that you weren't trading XRP during that time. I'm looking at the trading volumes going on in here. I see Polkadot down here, $1.8 billion of daily volume. I see that you have recently added Cardano. What about this one right here? This one with this $14 billion worth of trading volume. When is that one coming back? And I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's me just living in my own little fairy tale land. But boy, would it not make a really good marketing message heading into an IPO to relist XRP right when you go into it and say, we are going to be having higher quarterly revenue and profits in the second quarter of 2021 because we'll now be trading XRP. So all pricing that you see for our IPO is discounted based on Q1 figures, but Q2, we're relisting XRP, the numbers will be higher. And doesn't that just create extra excitement and buzz for a Coinbase IPO? Again, I'm just making that up. That's a fairy tale fantasy land that I'm living in right there. But boy, if I was doing an IPO and if I had the ability to do that and make that kind of marketing message, I certainly would. So with it being an exciting week, with all the factors heading into here and the resistance levels and everything, I just don't care about any of it. And I know for a lot of people, it's really important for them because maybe they just didn't buy it. They now have the excitement. They want to buy. They can't make their entries. In the end, it's just going to be personal preference, right? You see a broken resistance level. It took 3 years to get through that. In most cases, those resistance levels come back to get back tested. However, we've seen examples of that I've shown you right in here where they don't, in particular for XRP. So I don't want this to be misconstrued as me telling you you need to buy or me telling you you need to wait, because I don't think there's any real right answer for that right now. But the awesome thing is, with this massive breakout that has taken place here for XRP, it provides so much validation to so many people. How many people had to sit there in the depths of despair for so long, knowing that they were right, but being told that they were wrong for so long, and to finally get out of this moment and to see that all these other people who were once critical are now hopping on board and agreeing. And we had to have that conviction to do it way down lower. And I always said that this is a math game for me, right? And how important it was way down in here when we're in those teens and we're in those 20s, and how important it was to be getting in way down here, because when you go out to that target, that's a 6,000% target. At this point, XRP has already risen right there to right there, 625%. How much remains left in it? 700% remains left. For a lot of people, that's a fantastic return on investment, that there's a 700% opportunity opportunity if your target's there and if it does reach out to there. But for the people who got in at those really low prices when things were bad and when people were telling you were wrong, you have that greatest opportunity right there to get to that 6,000%. I was having this conversation yesterday with Mr. DYOR that, like, let's just pretend you have $1,000 to invest. If you invested in here right now at $1.38, right, you can turn your $1,000 into 7,240, right? So 724%. You can make $7,240. That's not life changing, right? That's nice. That's extra pocket money that might make you comfortable for a couple of months, depending on what your financial circumstance is, but that's not life changing, right? But $1,000 down here to get into there is $60,000, right? That's still, for some people, that's a dramatic change in life. That's going to buy a college education. That's going to create a nice big fat savings account for people, depending on however much you put in. Just the math matters so much. And how important it is, for me personally to, when I'm making those decisions, it's when most of the general masses don't want anything to do with it. So like when I look at this right now and I'm thinking to myself, adding more to my bag, right? For me personally, I can't do it. I've loaded my bags up so heavy. For me, I can't do it here. But like if I had none right now, right? And I'm like, gosh, I got to get into this thing. And if I had to buy right now, I'd be thinking to myself, okay, I have to have the expectation that there's like this chance that there's going to be this moment in time where I lose like a significant amount of it. But at the same time, I'm going for those big numbers. So I'm willing to suffer through the volatility to eventually get my way up there. But then I look at the numbers and I say, okay, but for me personally, a blockchain backer, if I'm thinking like, all right, I'm going to rotate more of my stuff that I have into XRP because I've got this like massive confirmation of a breakout, that I'll wait till we kind of get way down in here, still keeping that conviction no matter what the narrative changes to or how gloomy and doomy and scary things get, because that's what will happen if these prices fall down. The narrative will change and it will not be as exciting as it is right now, that I'll still maintain that bigger picture faith of that we're heading to those upsides and I can still get 1,400% on an entry that's made down in here. And hopefully there's something that I can rotate out of and get it into there, something else that's already high that doesn't have as much of an opportunity remaining into it, and then rotate it down there into XRP. But again, all of that may not even matter if we do see something similar to what we saw back in here, where it just never ever came back down to back test these levels again until the next bear market. So is that what we're going to see now, right? Are we in full blown breakout mode? There's absolutely going to be no back test of this level, and off and away we go. And for me, it's hard to like say, yeah, we're definitely doing that right now, because we've been through so much here, right? We've had to go through so much to get to this moment. I sure hope it is, but my levels of extreme excitement and extreme euphoria will not come until the day I hit that sell button and say, I locked it in. I locked in the win. Otherwise, it's still work, right? Everything is still working and mentally preparing and keeping my emotions in check. I'm excited right now, but I can't get too excited until we finally get there. But it's been pretty amazing and pretty wild and fun and mind-opening, eye-opening to see how this has all worked out, right? If you've been with this channel for just the last several months talking about all of these things, right? This is that Bitcoin sell-off. This is where I sold off 65% of my Bitcoin up in here, rotated it into the altcoins. We come up and what do? We go sideways and then the altcoins start breaking out. We're showing the crystal clear image of what's happening here in the cryptocurrency market, and that Bitcoin, in my opinion, is going to go off and have its parabolic blow off top. And right now, a lot of people want and need that price to go up significantly higher. So you're going to see a lot of people perpetuating and motivating and pushing the narrative of 300,000 Bitcoin because, well, they all got in right in here. They got in after Elon Musk announced it, right? So all of their entries, right? Let's just pretend half of them got in right here in the middle. They're up only 20% at this point right now. How much is our XRP holders up during that time frame? A couple 100%, right? We're watching this market do what it's done every single time, and that you have the initial sell-off of Bitcoin, and then we come up here and we go sideways during this time period, and then Bitcoin will eventually go off to set its final top, and then we eventually see a big old crash to the downside, and then a retrace, and then this is when it's all over. This is when we are moon. We are full-blown moon. And the reality is that time period isn't too far away from right now. And you're not going to see me worried about tops, worried about exits, worried about panicking about anything until we really get to this moment, until we have finally seen that big, absolutely devastatingly scary fall in Bitcoin. And as we go into the retracement and we start retracing back up this way, that's when it'll be time where I'm saying, look, all right, this is it, guys. Otherwise, it's still just exciting as we march our way up. And as we march our way up for altcoins like the XRP price chart, we're going to have volatility along the way. There's going to be big scary ups and big scary downs, and they're not going to be little. These are going to be the things that normal people can't handle that come into this market. You can just see in this bull run how many times it lost 30%, right? You have to have the expectation that it's going to continue doing that type of stuff. We've seen all types of crazy falls that happen, followed by all types of crazy rises that happen. And it's all about having the big picture and whether or not you can stomach the volatility of what is to come. And we have to have that expectation at all times that big volatility can show up, but in the end, having that big picture of where are we heading to, and with XRP heading to all-time highs. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Last week was probably the most exciting week we've seen in XRP's history for several years, since the last bull run, since 2017. So I'm excited for everybody. I'm excited for myself. And we're just going to have to go through the ride and go through the turbulence to get to our final destination. I had a lot of fun over here on Twitter over there on Saturday when we were posting Rocket Ship Saturday, talking about all the 22.5-cent people who were around and saying, hey, for the OG 22.5-cent peeps, when we hit $1.22.5, how exciting that was. Oh, so we're going to fight $1.30 today with my T-Swift meme. And I haven't told Twitter yet that I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and I think that's something that just happens when you raise a daughter. I don't know, whatever excuses I need to make. I like Taylor Swift. And I disclosed that in a live stream one time about 2 months ago that at the end of the live stream, it was a long stream, an hour and a half long. I was like, hey, I'll let you guys know this. I'm a T-Swift fan, an Easter egg or whatever for the end of the live stream. And I've still never told Twitter that. So I keep posting these Tay-Tay GIFs over here on Twitter and not telling anybody. So these people are probably like, what is going on, man? But my buddies and I, we always end up sending T-Swift GIFs to each other for any type of circumstance, because there is a Taylor Swift GIF for anything that you want, whether you're excited, sad, mad, or really anything that you want. And so if you're following me on Twitter, you're going to have to probably expect that you're going to be seeing some Tay-Tay GIFs. And well, if you have a problem with that, I may not be the best follow for you. But for the most part, I am posting crypto-related things and charts, which you can see represented up here. It's an occasional T-Swift meme thrown in there every once in a while. So definitely follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. Check out my website over here. This is bcbacker.com. I know we're having fun talking about T-Swift, but this is my serious stuff. This is where I put all my work into right in here. bcbacker.com. It's my course where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs and the different altcoin market cycles, where I tie everything together and show you all these measurements that we've been talking about in here, talking about the different altcoin seasons, the different Bitcoin bull runs. Talk about forecasting, mathematics, my exit plans, all kinds of stuff in here. Like I've mentioned, I did add a long update, 35-minute update in there just a week ago. Check this out over here. It's available for anybody who's already enrolled in the course, and anybody who enrolls in the course will have access to all of that content in there. You could check this out over here on bcbacker.com. I've already told you guys about my Twitter, so let me wrap it up. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. It's an exciting time to be in XRP. It's an exciting time to be in crypto. But all right, if you could like this video, I'd really appreciate it. So please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.